Hey, what's going on, guys? Appreciate you guys for tuning in. I have another rant. As I said before in the previous video, I'm gonna make these videos as short and concise as possible. The videos will never be more than 8 minutes or 10 minutes, as long as I'm dealing with my iPhone camera. These iPhone cameras, they suck. When I upload them to YouTube, they never look like the other YouTube videos that I look at or I enjoy. But anyway, I want to talk about just a quick rant on heartbreak for you guys dealing with heartbreak. I saw a post on X and it was talking about, it was directed towards men and it was asking men, how do you get over heartbreak and what's the best revenge to heartbreak in your ex delivering you said heartbreak? And I believe that question it wasn't asked the right way, because I believe that you shouldn't be worried about getting revenge on your ex. You should more so be worried about using this gift of free time that you have to improve your life, but also to fall in love with the things that you did before the relationship, to redevelop those hobbies, the sense of self that you had before said relationship. Because a lot of guys, and I'm guilty of this as well, a lot of guys, when we get into relationships, our identity becomes the relationship, and our identity becomes the person that we were in the relationship with. And I think that's where a lot of guys lose themselves, because once they lose the relationship, they feel like they have no sense of purpose. When it was just a relationship. Maybe you guys did have plans for the future, but the relationship is over, it's ended, and you feeling like you never will be able to recreate that feeling that you had with your ex, or that you will never be able to do this again or find someone else out there. And guys, I'm gonna tell you this, there's always someone out there that's better than the person you was with. And that's not necessarily a good thing. I think it's the paradox of choice. You got too many choices on the table. Even when you get something, you get bored of it and tired of it, so you feel like you could just exchange it in and go get a new one. But as far as the relationship that you lost, guys, there's millions of women out there with pretty faces who like the things that you like, whose body is something that you're attracted to, who has the same interests. There's so many women out there. But I think the important thing for guys is using this time to strengthen your identity and your sense of self, to re-engage with the activities, the hobbies, the interests that you had before the relationship. And why not take 6 months to lock in, to make more money, to earn more income? Because believe it or not, your ex, my ex, all of my exes, they left me for a reason. Whether it was something I did or something that they thought they could do better. There was a reason why you were left. But it's not a bad thing, and it's not the end of the world. And I think a lot of guys, if we're honest with ourselves, we miss the intimacy. And you know what I'm talking about. We miss those little expressions that our exes will make physically in the face. We miss the familiarity. We miss the comfortability. I think a lot of us we don't miss that person. We miss what that person brought to us. But again, there's other people out there, and then you're going to find yourself, a lot of guys, if you're not careful, you're not going to get over this breakup. You're not going to develop yourself. You're just going to take time in between the breakup and a new relationship and call it, I moved on. Or tell yourself that you moved on. Which you could have moved on, but in that space that you could have been used to do things to develop yourself, you're just going to hop back in a relationship and the same thing is going to happen. And maybe it's going to be you leaving the other person. But you're not going to come out stronger or with a stronger sense of identity. And I think that is the trap. A lot of people can't be alone. They don't know what to do with themselves. They always need constant interaction. And I think that is it's a problem. You're never going to grow financially, mentally, if you don't learn to be alone and use the time. Because the time that you have now, it's a gift. Why not use it? Yeah, guys, that was all for today. Heartbreak is rough because you lose a sense of self if you didn't build any or have a strong sense of self before. But it's not the end of the world. It's not anything impossible to get over. You're going to bump into beautiful women, lovely women throughout the day, maybe today, maybe tomorrow. But you're not going to be ready because you're still stuck on your ex. 6 months from now, you're not going to be ready if you don't put in the work to be financially ready to date, to have a sense of freedom to date, and the mindset to date. So again, I believe that breakups are a gift. You're breaking away. Don't think of a breakup as a breakup with another person. Let's think of breakups as we're breaking up that old sense of self, that old sense of identity that we had during a relationship. You're breaking up that crack, that old foundation in order to build a new foundation that's much stronger. A lot of you guys are good looking. You had good hobbies. You know, you have good personalities, but you're stuck on the past and you're just not ready. Like, we're not ready financially, mentally. We have no routine. So guys, let's use, if you're dealing with a breakup, use this time as a gift to develop yourself. Every area of yourself. Just go crazy. Fall in love with yourself before you ever decide to give yourself completely to another person, which that is a different topic. I don't necessarily believe in doing that. That is the problem to its core, that you're giving too much of yourself to another person, parts of yourself that shouldn't be given to anyone. But let's use this time to lock in, guys, for the next 6 months. Again, that was my rant. I saw this post on breakups and I just wanted to give my 2 cents. Let me know what you guys think. Peace.